Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever actually stopped to wonder how a computer reads? I mean, we constantly type questions into search engines. We ask our phones for directions, and we just kind of expect them to understand us. But right beneath the surface, there's this absolutely massive challenge in natural language processing, or NLP. It's the monumental task of teaching machines to extract actual genuine meaning from raw text. Because, it's not just about matching letters anymore. It's about making sense of the beautiful, messy, totally chaotic thing that is human language.
To really see why this is so notoriously difficult, let's just think about the word bank. If I say to you, she stood on the riverbank, you instantly, without even trying, picture water, maybe some dirt, some trees. But if I say she deposited money in the bank, you immediately picture a vault, tellers, maybe an ATM. But how does a machine know the difference, right? I mean, they both spell B-A-N-K. This is a classic problem called lexical ambiguity. And honestly, it's the core hurdle we absolutely have to overcome before a computer can do anything remotely useful with our words.
So how exactly do we solve it? Well, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with representing meaning and logic, then move on to solving word ambiguity, extracting structured knowledge, structuring entire documents, and finally we'll wrap up by looking at actual search engine mechanics.
Starting off with Section 1, representing meaning and logic.
Okay, so before a computer can even begin to understand us, we have to translate our superfluid language into a strict, formal structure. And engineers face a really tough trade-off here. See, humans grasp context intuitively, right? But machines, they need rigid mathematical models. Something like first-order logic has incredibly high expressive power. It handles all those complex qualifiers perfectly. But man, it creates massive performance bottlenecks for the computer. It's just too heavy. On the flip side, you have models like semantic networks or frame semantics. These are way faster for a machine to traverse because they use intuitive graph models or these situational slots, like assigning someone as a buyer and someone else as a seller. We essentially have to pick the right mathematical foundation based on what we actually need the machine to achieve.
Moving right along to Section 2, solving word ambiguity.
Remember that bank problem we talked about? To tackle that, machines use a highly structured pipeline. We don't just, shove raw text in and hope for the best. First, the input string goes through tokenization and part-of-speech tagging. Basically, the sentence gets chopped up into categorized pieces. Then, it hits the WSD engine, word sense disambiguation. This could be an older algorithm like LESC, which literally looks up dictionary definitions of the surrounding words to find overlap. Or it could be a modern powerhouse deep learning model like BERT. And the really cool part is how this engine cross-references external databases, like WordNet, to confidently spit out a highly specific, disambiguated tag.
So when we run our two sentences through that exact pipeline, the machine completely stops seeing identical letters. For riverbank on the left, the surrounding context of words like river and stood pushes the engine to assign a geographical vector. But on the right, words like deposited and money strongly push it toward a financial vector. Modern contextual embeddings naturally map these to totally different mathematical spaces, which is just a brilliant way of solving the ambiguity.
Let's jump into Section 3, extracting structured knowledge.
Now that the machine actually understands individual words, how does it deduce the relationships between different entities across a whole sentence? Well, this is where a fascinating concept called the dependency path kernel comes into play. Human language is notoriously full of modifier noise, right? We use adjectives, adverbs, winding clauses. It's a lot. If we want to extract a hard fact, like Steve Jobs co-founded Apple, the machine uses a grammatical dependency graph to compute the absolute shortest path. Think of it kind of like a GPS, finding the fastest route between two cities and totally bypassing all the scenic detours. It literally cuts through the noise of the sentence, letting it confidently extract the relationship between the two entities without getting distracted by all the fluff.
But why does this actually matter out in the real world? Well, extracting these relationships creates what we call annotated knowledge. Think about it. If you have thousands of messy, unstructured medical diagnostics or, say, aviation safety logs, you essentially just have a massive, useless text file. You can't search it. But by extracting entities and annotating them with knowledge rules, like tagging a specific phrase as a symptom or an incident cause, you magically transform that useless text file into a highly structured database. This allows for semantic retrieval, supports automated reasoning, and acts as the absolute ground truth for training even smarter machine learning models down the line.
All right, on to Section 4, structuring the unstructured. Imagine a bank scanning a massive 100-page stack of mixed, disorganized paperwork. How on earth does a machine know where one document ends and a completely different one begins?
It relies on a super dense engineering pipeline. First, it takes the raw images, runs optical character recognition to grab the text, extracts the visual and textual features, and then runs probabilistic classification on every single page. But step 5 is where the literal magic happens: sequence decoding. See, the machine doesn't just look at pages in isolation, it analyzes the logical sequence of the entire batch.
Let's look at how this builds with a real-world example, like a bank loan application batch. A sequence mapping algorithm strictly enforces transition logic. It flags the main application form as a start page. The salary slip, which is probably full of tables, gets flagged as a middle page. Because of the sequence rules, the machine mathematically knows that a middle page can never magically turn into a start page without a proper split having occurred. It uses this remarkably simple but incredibly effective logic to perfectly chop up that continuous PDF scan into distinct, nicely organized files. It's so robust.
And finally, Section 5, the search engine mechanics.
So, all of these NLP technologies we've been geeking out over, they are the exact same tools powering the global web search engines we all use dozens of times a day. And here is the crucial aha moment. Take a look at this diagram. Notice there are two completely distinct paths. The heavy lifting doesn't actually happen when you type a query. It happens way before that, in the offline indexing path up at the top. The system is constantly parsing billions of documents, normalizing the text, and building an index long before you ever ask it a single question. The online search path at the bottom, that's really just matching your parsed query against the index it already built.
And the absolute backbone of that offline path is the inverted index. You can think of it kind of like the index at the back of a massive textbook, but scaled up to a global level. It's essentially a giant dictionary of every unique term on the internet, linked to a postings list of the exact document IDs where that specific term appears. By compressing and caching this structure, search engines can retrieve millions of relevant documents in literal milliseconds. It's crazy fast.
To really prove why this NLP pipeline is a total game changer today, look at this exact query. Who is the actor that played Iron Man in the Avengers movie? 10 years ago, a search engine would have just blindly hunted for documents containing those exact keywords. But today, the machine uses entity detection. It instantly recognizes Iron Man as a character and the Avengers as a film. It extracts the relationship played. So instead of just matching text, it searches its structured knowledge graph to instantly hand you a premium knowledge panel for Robert Downey Jr. It actually understands your intent.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've traveled all the way from the ambiguity of a single simple word to the vast, highly structured knowledge graphs of global search engines. Machines are becoming just incredibly adept at parsing our syntax, mapping our sequences, and extracting hard facts. But, it does leave us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. Machines can now parse our syntax almost perfectly, but when will they truly, genuinely master our underlying, nuanced human intent? Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and as always, keep questioning how the digital world around you really works.